here we are not to cure people by any or healing anyone. That's not our job. It happens spontaneously as a byproduct of the Kundalini awakening. Main thing is we have to make you doctors. We have to make you knowledgeable people. We have to make you collectively conscious human beings who have to enter into the kingdom of God to reside there in His peace, bliss and joy. Now this trouble of also of kidney, of high blood pressure, all that is due to this. People worry, they are frantic, you see, and this franticness comes to us just as a matter of habit. I have known people, as soon as you say, oh, you have to go by aeroplane or somewhere, suddenly the aeroplane word triggers that frantic. Oh, they get mad. They don't know what they are up to. They will forget their passport, they will forget their luggage, they will forget this, that. Frantic. At the airport if you go, you'll find this left navi, as we call it, the center is, the spleen was frantic. Now, when you eat your food or do any such work, there is an emergency created and more blood is needed to digest that food. So this spleen, poor thing, works very hard to create that extra amount of blood cells. But at the time you are eating, you are also reading a newspaper. That's the worst thing one should do in the morning. Horrible. You read the newspaper, you are eating the food, the spleen goes off because another emergency comes up. Then you get onto your bicycle, eat a sandwich in the hand, is even worse than that. As you are rushing to your work, suddenly you find a big jam on the way, then you are even very badly placed with the situation and you get so frantic and you don't understand, and the person who is in front of you goes saying, oh, what's wrong with this fellow, why can't he drive fast, and the same fellow is saying something exactly the same to the another fellow who is going ahead. So this mad race is on, this rat race is on, and if you are eating your food in such a hurry and with such franticness, you develop this trouble which is very dangerous, called as blood cancer, and among young people is very common. Now the last and not the least is the trouble of the heart. When you pay too much attention to all these outward things, to material things, to your all material advancement, to your physical advancement, and to so much of computerization of your brain, then you neglect the necessary attention to your spirit which resides in your heart. And so the spirit recedes. And when the spirit receives, you get a heart attack. Only a person who is right-sided gets a heart attack, and never a person who is a left-sided. I told this to a doctor, and he told surprisingly that in a mental hospital we never need a cardiograph. We do not need it. They never get a heart attack. A mad man never gets a heart attack. Surprisingly, a person who is mad is using his heart, his left side, his emotions, and his heart should go out. But no, his brain goes out. Can you imagine? And the one who uses the brain, his heart goes out. This is the balance created by nature in us. See how cleverly the nature is trying to guide us in the center. Don't go to the extremes. Keep to the center. Keep to the center. And then when you are absolutely in the center, then you get your evolution very quickly. So this is the right side that we have, the futuristic side, and as you know, we are all very futuristic by temperament. This futuristicness cannot be cured by telling, oh, now don't think. You cannot do it. You just cannot do it. If I order you that now you better stop planning, you just can't do it. You can't help it. You have to do that kind of plan. And you find all these plans fail because these plans are not related to the plans of the divine. Divine has some other plans, while you have some other plans. And they never combine together, and that's how you find all your plans fail, and you are just frustrated, left high and dry. You don't understand how it has happened. For your understanding, one has to know that there is a divine power. You may like it or not. All this living work that is done, millions and millions of flowers which are becoming fruits, a seed becoming a tree, a particular seed becomes a particular tree, all the choices that are made, the whole organized way, the chemical acts, the way the chemistry is made of periodic laws, everything you see in this world is also well organized. There has to be somebody doing it. So there is a divine power which is surrounding us, no doubt about it. But we have not yet felt it. That's all. If you have not felt it, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does exist, and it works out. We have seen with our own experience that so many living things are happening, we just take it for granted. We are not bothered. See, in human life itself, a child is to be born. Then a fetus is held in the body. Normally, the law of medical science is this, that anything foreign, if it enters into the body, is thrown away immediately. All the forces are built up to throw it away. But what we find, that when a fetus is built up, the whole system works out to nourish it, to look after it, to really to bother about it. Very carefully, the water is created around it so that it is not disturbed, and every sort of a care is taken by the body to look after the fetus, and when the fetus is ready, it is thrown out. Who does that? Who does that? We must ask these questions to ourselves sometimes. After all, why have we become human beings? What was the need? What was the need? And if we haven't got the answer, that means we are still in transition, and we have to get there where we get the answer. We are made human beings to feel that divine power, to maneuver that divine power, and thus enjoy the bliss of divinity. That divine power is the collective thing. That gives us collective. The spirit in our heart is the one which is the collective being within us, which manifests that divine power to flow through. And that's how, once we are connected to the mains, we start becoming what we are for. Like a machine, once it is put to the mains, it gets its meaning. But this machine, though it is put to the mains, is not aware of the electricity, about my voice, anything. But a human being, when he gets connected with the mains, when he becomes aware, and this is what you must see. When you get realized, you can raise the Kundalini of others. You can give realization to others. Ray himself has done so many. Even in VR he did it. He did it everywhere, wherever he went. He's just like you. He's an engineer. He's just like you. He was just like you. And now you'll be amazed at how much he knows about himself and about others. And a complete change has come, because once you get the spirit, when you get the highest, all these mundane things drop off and you become a master of yourself. No more enslavement of any habits or anything. It just works out beautifully. But one must give a chance to oneself, and one must have patience. The worst part of intelligence, so-called, is that you can make fun of it. That's the easiest way to make fun of everything and get rid of it. In olden times, when they wanted to face the reality, like when Christ came in, they didn't make fun of it. But they did at the time when he was crucified, but they just denied. But now it is not basically a problem. That problem doesn't exist, because to deny it requires more effort. So it's better to make fun. It's stupidity, again, as I said. It's stupidity to make fun of something. Because you are that. You are the spirit. You are the one who has to get it. And if you just know how to make fun, please go and play about with it. All your life will go on, all your lives will go on. What's the use? And if you do not get your realization, in the words of your judgment, you have failed. You have failed, and there is a chance given to you. You can be comforted, and you can be counseled, you can be redeemed. But nobody can make you taste the beauty of your own being, that you have to do it yourself. If you do not want to do it, alright, it's perfectly alright. You are free to do it, do what you like. But if you want to do it, then please stop your guru shopping and wobbling. Stop and see for yourself what you need. It's a serious thing we should have. Unless and until human beings are evolved, none of the problems of the world are going to be solved. None of the problems, take it from me. Whatever they have done by their thinking, say they have created democracy, they have created communism, this, that, all this nonsense, has no meaning at all in reality. It has no meaning. Because say, for example, you might say, I'm very powerful, so I'm a capitalist. But I can't live without giving to others, so I'm a communist. I am a complete capitalist and a complete communist. Everything exists within me. And these ideas are all artificial, that you make some set of people as democratic and some people as this thing. Because as long as they are attached to selfishness, to all these things, they are not going to do any good job out of it. Now, the detachment takes place because you become one with the spirit, which is not attached, which gives you that light, that detachment, from where you can see the whole thing just as a drama going on, and you work it out very well. You become so dynamic that you are amazed at your own dynamism. Apart from that, one has to realize, if there is a power, which is an all-pervading power, that power itself thinks, organizes, and looks after it. So many things have happened to such yogis. If I have to tell you all about it, you'll be amazed. Amazing things have happened. But Krishna has said very clearly, yoga kshema mahamyam, means when you get the yoga, you get the well-being. After yoga. He said yoga first. First the union must take place, then you will get the well-being. I have seen people who go to so-called gurus and things sick. You see their faces pale, absolutely finished. They are good for nothing, absolutely miserable people. And how such people could be in yoga? Not only physically, mentally they are at peace. They are full of compassion and love. And the compassion that doesn't talk but just flows. It flows. It emits. You can give your compassion even to flowers. If the flowers are dying, you can give them this and they will live for a while. If there are, say, trees which are dying, if you give them, they will prosper. If you give it to animals, they will be different. Because first time, after getting this power only, you are giving back something to the nature. So far you have been always taking from the nature. Now it is the first time you start giving something to the nature. Because the compassion just flows. It doesn't receive it. It just flows to others. And this should happen to you. Don't be satisfied with cheap things, with something nonsensical, which is something sort of a mimicry or a mass ideas. I'm talking of collectivity, where every individual is aware. It's not a mass activity, it is collectivity. May God bless you. I hope today many will get realization and become one with their spirits and will feel their collectivity. That's only my hope is. Brighton, I place very high up in England, and I always said England is the heart of the universe. It's very important that it is the heart, no doubt, and that's why Blake has said that it has to become Jerusalem. There's a lot of truth in what he has said. Lots of things he has said about Sahaja Yoga is absolutely true. But the heart is sluggish. Heart is sleepy. It's a sign. Like I say, that Europe is a liver and it is drinking. Can you imagine what will be the state of affairs of this universe if everything is going against one's own essences? And the essence of English is that it is the heart. That means it articulates, it circulates. Whatever happens in England is taken up seriously. Supposing you become, all of you, stupid people, the whole world will become. The responsibility is such a lot on you, which you do not realize. It's a very important thing that we are doing. It looks very small in this country because the very few people who really come to Sahaja Yoga and settle down. Very few people. There are very few of that caliber. I think young little children are there. Many will come up by about say 10 years or so. I'm sure there will be a very good quality of people will be coming. And the seekers who are here are also sort of little nervous because they want to learn from Americans and from Europeans. There's nothing to be learned from them. It is you who are going to circulate. You are going to carry the message. I know it's a very important country and somehow it was managed that my husband would get his election done in England and we are here now for last 8 years, can you believe it? And I'll be here maybe again 4 years more at the most. So I hope something will happen and this Brighton, which is a very good place, I'm sure here also many will get their realization and will help in the emancipation of you.